Okay, so hey, what's up? I'm back with the sun in the sixth house. Sun in the partner's sixth house. Um, your partner's sun in your sixth house, or vice versa. I get confused. But the synastry here, like when the sun is meeting someone else's sixth house, is pretty interesting because right off bat we do see a relationship that is able to go the distance. Mm-hmm. Because they're willing to work with each other to accumulate things, material things, finances. So building is involved. That's good for a long-term relationship. So sun in the sixth house is definitely relationship material. Okay. The sun person feels that the sixth house person supports them. So they feel supported by the sixth house person. They feel like the sixth house person knows how to take care of their needs in a very physical way, on all levels. So this can be a very sensual placement too. And the sun person feels like they can work out whatever problems that may come up in the relationship with the sixth house person. They both do. The sixth house person feels this way too. They feel like they can work out whatever issues come up. Sometimes I can even feel like it's them against the world, like against other people. Like they're going to stick together no matter what comes up against them. The thing about this is though, like for the sun, the sixth house for the sun sometimes feels like it can't fully be itself. This person feels like they can't fully operate in the way that they want because they feel like the sixth house person is going to criticize the way that they do things. And the sixth house person probably does criticize the way that they do things, to criticize the way that they look, criticize the way that they tie their shoes, criticize the way that they're getting something done. And over time, the sun person can feel like they can never really do what's right. They can never really please the sixth house person. Mm-hmm. But the sixth house person feels like the sun person. This is the weird part. The sixth house person feels like the sun person highlights all their flaws. So the sun person may or may not be, like a lot of times they may not be actually criticizing the sixth house person or ordering the sixth house person to do anything differently than what they're doing. Okay. But somehow the sixth house person will feel like the sun person is highlighting their imperfections, their flaws. So in return, the sun person uncovers or unveils a lot of things that the sixth house person may rather not look at, maybe didn't even notice about themselves that they feel like they want to change. But if they're not in the mood or ready to change those things, this could be a lot for the sixth house person to constantly feel like, dang, you know what, I don't really feel good enough in this situation. I don't really feel good enough in this relationship because look at the sun person, look at them. They're out shining, not afraid to be themselves. And look at me, what do I have to offer? And this actually puts the sixth house person in a space to where they want to build something, accumulate something. They want to add something to the status of who they are to let the sixth house, like to match the sixth house person's energy. It's like, okay, yeah, you know what? I do have what you need. I have what you need. I can be what you need. I can become perfect for you. But this is where things can get a little bit shaky. Because imagine trying to become perfect for someone that you can't really become perfect for, because there's no way to really do it, and imagine trying to become perfect for someone that's not really requiring you to be perfect, but you can just sense a lot of the imperfections. Like, this is the sun house is not really requiring the sixth house person to be perfect or anything, but the sixth house person is like a lot of their imperfections is highlighted here. If this is channeled in a healthy way, because speaking of the sixth house, this is what this is all about. If this is channeled in a healthy way, you both would be supportive of each other in your own way. The sun person will be supportive of the sixth house person in the way to where they make sure that they're dividing things evenly. They're not taking advantage of the person in the sixth house, because if the person with the sixth house, it could be a chance to where they, either something that they are doing at work or a job. It's like something that they're doing material wise, or what they can offer, right? They can offer things to the sun person, and the sun person can take it for granted, or not really be willing to give back their time in a fair way, right? So the sun person has to make sure that they are giving back to the sixth house person, and not just taking advantage of them, and not just overlooking the needs of the sixth house person. And the sixth house person has to make sure that the sixth house person has to make sure that the sun person really sees them for who they are, not for what they can be. And the sun person has to be careful. The sixth house person has to be careful of over criticizing the sun person, and not trying to get the sun person to be something different than what they are. It's kind of like, what's the good thing about these two, this couple, is that they can actually get each other to become better versions of themselves. Okay? But they have to make time for each other. They have to make time for what they want. Because they can get occupied in things that they have going on, that they're working on. This could be a relationship where it's like, oh, well, I gotta work, a lot of work involved. This is where you have to clearly make time for each other, to where you're able to have that time. Like, okay, yeah, we need to have, like, make sure we have, like, weekly dates, or make sure at least we have dinner with each other, cook once or twice, 1 or 2 times a week with each other, but this placement does have the ability to go into a marriage or go into something long-term and committed. They do. Okay. But it's about healthy interactions with each other, because here we see other things being brought up, like health, actually. Yeah. And the sun person could actually find themselves, like, sick sometimes when they activate the sixth house person, and vice versa. Like, one or the other person can start dealing with health issues, that because it highlights these things to where it's like you can't avoid, you have to take care of, you have to tend to. Like, that comes up in some of these synastries, like connections with each other too. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind. All right. Sun in the sixth house, butterflies of light. Peace.